buenos días or buenas tardes. Now is your lesson, a recorded session for the second half of week 26. Let's go ahead and start with a verse and prayer, oración. Dichosos los que tienen hambre y sed de la justicia, porque serán satisfechos. Mateo 5:6. Querido Padre Celestial, que de nuestros corazones broten palabras para alabarte y pedirte juntos en común acuerdo, que vivamos en comunión contigo y que lleguemos a ti con todo nuestro ser, con toda nuestra experiencia, con todo lo que tú nos has dado. Porque hasta hoy eres tú que nos ha mostrado el camino, nos guía en medio del bien y el mal, lo perfecto y lo imperfecto. Tú nos has dejado conocer que todos pertenecemos a ti. Tuyos somos y tú trabajas para llevar a cabo tu propósito en cada uno de nosotros, los millones que tienen hambre y sed de verdad y justicia. Habita con nosotros por medio de tu Espíritu. Conmuévenos por medio del amor de Jesucristo. Él es Salvador nuestro, a Él nos aferramos. En su nombre te alabamos. Amén. Don't forget Las Pascuas, Easter. Easter, Christian holiday of Easter, is called Las Pascuas. It is plural in Spanish. It is the weekend of March 31st through April 1st. April 1st is Easter Sunday. For week 28, Tuesday and Thursday, in lieu of class sessions for that week, we will have one pre-recorded session. And please do not email me summaries on that day, nor email me summaries for this lesson either. I'm trusting that you'll view this one as well as the week 28 one. So week 28 is shortened, so you can enjoy Easter as during Semana Santa, or Holy Week, the week leading up to Easter Sunday. We'll have class April 3rd as normal. Some of you may be taking different holidays with family. Please just let me know, and of course the recordings will be available. Don't forget the church service visit. This is due next month, El 8 de Abril. It's due on the 8th of April. Remember to visit a Spanish-speaking church. Write a one-page summary of your experience. The summary will be in English. See Canvas for more details. It is your responsibility to contact me in advance if you're unable to find a suitable service within a reasonable distance. If it's 30-40 miles away or less, I think it would be reasonable for you to make plans to go. If it's further away than that, I would say it would be unreasonable for you. If you can make it, then by all means, please do that. However, I think it's perfectly fine if you just can't find one that's that close. You can let me know, and just give me the city you live in as well, and I can help you with that. I'll do a little searching myself, and if you cannot find it, I do have an alternate that you can do, but I'll just do that on a case-by-case basis. We talked about your language lesson review last time, and also the forms of preferir. Preferir is another stem-changing verb. Prefiero, prefiere. When you push down that second E, it splits into the two vowels, i.e. Prefieren, but preferimos. And it's usually followed by a verb in the infinitive. Prefiero quedarme aquí. I prefer to stay here. Tener ganas is also usually followed by they and a verb in the infinitive. It means to feel like doing something. Échale ganas means go for it. Tener ganas de means to feel like. And it's usually followed by a verb. Tengo ganas de trabajar. I feel like working. So we also did this. We had some practice with that last time. Me gustaría is also used to talk about what you would like. You can use it with verbs too. Pensar with a verb means that you're planning on doing something, and you just put the verb in the infinitive after. For example, I'm planning on leaving is pienso salir. He's planning on calling me, piensa llamarme. So there's no on, and there's no ing kind of thing going on in Spanish. You just Conjugate pensar, which means to think, actually. And you follow it with a infinitive verb, and it means that now it means you're planning to do something. Preguntar is to ask somebody a question. To ask somebody a question. Not to ask somebody for something, but to ask a question. You can also use, since these verbs often take a pronoun, you can hook that pronoun at the end of the R, at the end of the full verb, of course. Preguntarme means to ask me. Preguntarte, to ask you. For example, you can say, me gustaría preguntarte. I would like to ask you. Preguntarle, preguntarles, preguntarnos, to ask us, etc. These verbs work very similar, a similar way. They take a what's called an indirect object, because preguntarle, notice preguntarle means to ask him, her, or you. Preguntarles, ask you all or ask them. It's not lo, right? Preguntarlo would mean to ask it. So just keep in mind that it's an indirect object, object that this verb takes. Like decir is telling something to somebody, so you're going to use these indirect object pronouns when you use pronouns. So decirle is to tell you, to tell him or tell her. Darle, darme, darte, darles, etc. to give. Llamar is to call, to give a phone call to. Comprar, now here I have a little asterisk on it. If you say comprarlo, that means you're buying it. If you say comprarle, that means you're buying for a person. Comprarle, voy a comprarle un libro. I'm going to buy him a book. But if you say voy a comprarlo, I'm going to buy it. That's the object that I'm purchasing. So that's the difference with comprar. Mandar, to send. Enviar also means to send. So mandarle, enviarle, because you're sending something to somebody. Mandar, enviar have the same meaning. Mandar can also mean to command. I'm going to ask you, Roberto, voy a preguntarte. I'm going to ask her, voy a preguntarle. He's going to ask us, va a preguntarnos. Next we have para with a verb. It means in order to. Le estoy llamando para preguntarle. I'm calling you, I'm calling him or her, in order to ask you, him or her. Le estoy llamando para preguntarle. I'm calling you to ask you. I'm calling you in order to ask you. Voy a salir para llegar a tiempo. I'm going to leave in order to arrive on time. So para with the infinitive is in order to do something. You have a purpose. So putting it together, you say, I'm going to call you later to ask you if you can come see it with us tonight. I'm going to call you. Voy a llamarle. Right? It can also be llamarte or llamarles. You know, it depends on who you're addressing. Later, más tarde, to ask you. Para preguntarle. I'll just use usted here for you. Para preguntarle si is if, si, you can come see it. Si usted puede venir a verlo with us tonight, con nosotros esta noche. Voy a llamarle más tarde para preguntarle si puede venir a verlo con nosotros esta noche. The last thing in your language lesson is the use of acabar de with a verb. This means that you've just done something. It actually uses the present tense of the verb acabar with de. It's kind of like tener ganas de. And then it needs another verb with it. It must have a verb afterwards. Acabo de salir is I've just gone out. I've just left. In English, we dive. I have left, and we just use the word just to indicate that it's recent, that you did it long ago. So, acabo de salir, I've just left, or I just left. Acaba de salir, he just left. You just left. She just left. We just arrived would be acabamos de llegar. Acabamos de llegar. Or it could also be we have just arrived. It's really the same thing. They just called me, or they have just called me. You would say acaban de llamarme. Acaban de llamarme. You just asked her would be acabas de preguntarle. Acabas de preguntarle. You just asked her. And hace, with time expressions, means ago. This is very good to use when you're saying acabo de, right? I just did this an hour ago. It's very easy. In Spanish, you just say hace, which actually comes from the verb to make or to do, and a time expression. When it's followed by a time expression, it always means ago. So you're really saying it makes 2 minutes, or it makes an hour. In English, we would express this as ago, 2 minutes ago, an hour ago. And just use hace with the time. Hace 2 semanas, 2 weeks ago. Hace un año, a year ago. Hace 3 días, 3 days ago. Hace 5 meses, 5 months ago. You can go on and on and on. Felicidades! This is the end of the language lessons for the year. It is not the end of the course, obviously, but it's the end of a major component of the course. So you made it. Felicidades, congratulations. Now, review verb tenses. We talked about, since the beginning of this course, the infinitive, the whole verb, to talk. Hablar, right? It ends in AR. It has that R ending. I talk, etc. In the present tense, you have the O for the yo form, and the A for ARs, and E for ERs and IRs. So we have hablo, you talk is habla, Roberto would be hablas, hablamos, as we talk, they talk, and you guys talk is hablan. You push down on the second to last syllable, very important. Hablo, hablas, habla, that's your present tense. I'm going to talk, you can say this too, referring to the future. Voy a hablar. So we can say to go, we can conjugate go with a and then a verb. Voy a hablar. Talk and don't talk are commands. We talked about how you switch tracks in the command. So talk is hable. All right, but when you command Roberto or Roberta, do not switch tracks. It's just habla. It's just, you just drop the S. When you tell somebody not to talk, you just put a no in front of it and switch tracks. And when it's negative, you always switch tracks. No hable, no hables, no hablen, no hablemos. No hables, don't talk, Roberto. No hable. Don't talk, señor. No hablemos. Let's not talk. And no hablen. Don't you guys talk. Don't talk, y'all. Now, future tense. I will talk. I shall talk. It's the re ending. You hook it onto the R of the infinitive. Hablaré. Hablaré. And then the future endings are re, ras, ra, remos, and ran. If it's a go-go verb, it has ND and DR. It has an ND before the R. Pondré, vendré, tendré, etc. Hacer and decir are weird ones. They're just short. So it's haré and diré. After that, you can figure out all the other ones. Now, would works just like the future. It's the same kind of thing with the R, but instead of re ras ra, it's ria. You can think of walking in the woods. You walk into the woods and you see a rio, a river, but it's feminine, so it'd be ria, and that's how we talked about how to remember that. Ria. So it's just like the future, uses the same R, but you say ria instead of re ras ra. So I would talk is hablaría and not hablaré. Hablaré is I will talk. Hablaría is I would talk. I have talked. You take the future re ras ra, you make the R a silent H, and you put it in front of the verb, and you change the main verb to ado at the end, or ido. Ado for AR verbs, ido for IR verbs. So I have talked would be he hablado. He hablado. I have talked. I have spoken. He hablado. So you take the re of hablaré, and you make that re into an HE instead. And I just talked is what we have just spoken about in this lesson, correct? So I just talked is acabo de hablar. Acabo de hablar. I just talked or I've just talked. It means the same exact thing. Acabo de hablar. And we can do the same thing with an ER verb like to eat. Comer is to eat. I'm eating is como. Comes, come, comemos, comen. I'm going to eat. Voy a comer. Va a comer. Van a comer. Vamos a comer. Eat, the command would be coma. Coma. Roberto would be come. Roberta would be come. Just drop the S. But do not switch tracks for the positive to command. Never switch tracks. Every other command you do. So don't eat. You're going to be switching that track. No coma. No comas. No coman. Don't eat it yet. Don't eat, y'all. No coman. No comamos is let's not eat. I will eat. Comeré. It's the same kind of thing. All future tense verbs work the same way at the ending. So I will eat is always going to be re at the end. Comeré. I would eat. Comería. I have eaten. He comido. And I just ate is acabo de comer. The personal a. When pointing out a person, that's the object, use a before the noun if it's a person. Voy a llamar a la señora. I'm going to call the lady. Voy a decirle a Francisco. I'm going to tell Francisco. For commands, you switch tracks to say the normal command form, but as we talked about, do not switch tracks in the positive to command. So, cómalo, eat it. No lo comas, don't eat it, Roberto. Hable, speak. No hable, don't speak. Compremos la casa means let's buy the house. It's a command because we have the E there, not an A. It's an AR track verb. But you do not switch tracks in the positive to command. Look at these examples. Cómelo. Cómelo is eat it, Roberto or Roberta. But if you don't want him to eat it, you say no lo comas, Roberto. Don't eat it. So you see that on the negative, you change tracks. The positive command, you don't change tracks. You just drop the S of the tu form. Habla, speak. Háblame, háblame. Talk to me. Habla español, speak Spanish. But no hables, do not speak. No hables, don't talk. Now, these are breakouts that I had planned for you. I think I'll just create a little assignment in Canvas. You can do these 5 on your own. I would like you to give commands. Choose a command for each of these. This will end up in Canvas. You'll see it appear there. This will be in lieu of the breakouts that I have planned for you for this week. Okay. Muchas gracias. That is it for this week. Please let me know if you have questions. I may not be able to reply right away, but I will definitely reply by Monday. So please let me know if you have any questions. Muchas gracias. Tengan un buen fin de semana. Nos vemos.